Welcome back to the Le Press Box channel. My name is Leroy Hodgson. As always, today, Black Stars, come over. We need to talk. What the hell happened in the 6 months from losing 2-1 to Niger to basically trashing Chad 5-0 and defeating Madagascar 3-0 in March in the World Cup qualifiers? What happened in the 6 months? Because this team in basically the last 5 or 6 games have not been able to score more than a single goal. But yet this month, this team has been able to score 8 goals. Last year we scored 17 goals. We've already basically gotten halfway there. So I have to ask, what has happened to you? You have become all of a sudden such an incredible team to watch, just a beautiful team to watch play. What happened? Why couldn't we get this kind of football during the African Cup of Nations qualifiers? During last year, what happened? I mean, we had a period, let's say, when we beat Mali and Central African Republic. That's basically when Otuado came in to replace Chris Hughton, where everyone was like, oh, yes, the Black Stars are back. But all of a sudden, boom, we couldn't score goals. We could only score a single goal. I don't know what happened after that because I believe the Central African Republic game was the last game Ghana scored more than one goal. And I don't know what happened, but you have become an incredible team to watch. Was it really the technical team that was the problem, like the GFE said, that we needed to change the technical team without replacing Otuado, and Otuado was actually the man for the job, because these two matches have proven that this team can actually play football. Because the last couple of months, we've seen a team that basically was passing the ball around, not really creating much, not really finding the pockets on the final ball. The defensive structure was all over the place. To basically transform in these two matches to become a team that just can't. That's a defensive structure is just so solid. We were so defensively sound against both Niger and against both Chad and Madagascar that I was like, am I watching the same team? Otoado and his technical team has done an incredible job in the last couple of weeks with this Black Stars team that I haven't seen in the last couple of months with watching this Black Stars team. Honestly speaking, I was expecting us to edge out a victory against Chad and probably maybe draw against Madagascar, but I have been proven wrong by Otuado and the technical team. They have done an incredible job, because look, this is not a different team. This is not like we've changed the entire Black Stars lineup. It's relatively the same players, but things have just clicked. In fact, I remember writing an article on Asase Radio where I basically said that the problem right now with the Black Stars is that they haven't really clicked. This is we are transitioning from the IU, let me just quote unquote, the IU era into a new era, which I'm probably going to quote again, quote unquote, call the Kudus era, where we have to transition and find new players for the Black Stars team. And these players have not really clicked, but it seems like with a couple of months or so with Otuado and the new technical team, something has clicked, because we are much more incisive with our passing. We are much more, the creativity is just on point. We are finding those small pockets of spaces to get our forwards in. And I have to admit, Jordan Ayew has been incredible in this system. He's become a very team player. He's not, and I think he's striving under a system where he's not supposed to be the main man getting the goals, and he's been able to sort of find those players who will be the ones getting the goals. The match against Madagascar was a clear example, because he was able to find the right pass 3 times. He's had a hat trick of assists, finding Thomas Partey twice and finding Kudus once to get Ghana those 3 points. And it wasn't like Madagascar was a for a team. They played quite well. They were quite tactically sound. It's just that our defensive structure was just good. Was just too good. And I have to admit, Benjamin Asari, how has it taken us this long to put Benjamin Asari in at the back of the net? Because I have to admit, he was sound. I haven't felt more confident about a goalkeeper for the Black Stars than I have with Benjamin Asari. You put Ati Ziggy behind the goal, and I was a bit worried about what exactly he was going to do. Was he going to have a good game? Was he not going to have a good game? Where a Wallacott too, I didn't think was quite the man for the job as well, and I was always worried that if the the opponents got past our defense, we were going to be in a whole lot of trouble. But Benjamin Asari has been sound. Sure, he didn't really have much to do because the defense was quite solid, but whenever he was called upon, he did it. He had the right thing. His anticipation was on point. His shot stopping was on point. He did an incredible job, and I can't believe it's kept us this long to find such a good goalkeeper. He's 32. I don't know how long he's going to last, but I'm hoping he lasts for a very long time because he has really, really impressed. And I hope it continues like that because we've needed a solid number one since Richard Kingston left and since Adam Kwarase left. And we finally found one, and he looks to be quite solid. And the defense, again, I just can't stop because basically this Black Stars team was built on the defense, and the defense was so solid, giving freedom to the attack to know that they can do wonders. They can take make difficult decisions and make difficult passes, and know that there's somebody at the back of them to cover them if anything goes wrong. I again, honestly, when we beat Chad 5-0 and everybody was excited about the Black Stars play, I have to admit I was also excited. I felt like, whoa, this team is actually playing as a team. We weren't relying on individuals to make something special happen. The team was playing like a team, and I was so excited to see what would happen in the Madagascar game. But I was worried because we've seen this before. Everything goes horribly wrong. We make some cosmetic changes, and we expect things to change in terms of the Black Stars. But these cosmetic changes seem to have been the changes we actually needed. And it makes me wonder, sometimes do we jump the gun when the process is being done? Because the Black Stars, every time anything goes wrong, we get upset and we make huge changes, expecting things to become or expecting things to change immediately. We see a positive change, let's say a victory, and then once everything starts going wrong, then we start hounding that there needs to be changes. Is it that we have gotten to a point where, or the GFA has gotten to the point where they've said, no, we are putting our foot down. The coach is the man for the job. We believe in his vision. And yeah, sure, we need changes, but we are going to put in these changes that we believe are important to fixing the Black Stars, and they got those changes right. The technical director, Desmond Ofe, who had an incredible Africa games with the under 21, being brought in as an assistant, and a lot of other changes as well. Also, we can't deny the impact having old players like Stephen Appiah and Asamoah coming into the team and sort of giving them that kind of boost as well. Also, we also have a sports a psychologist as well who is, I hope, is like, I don't know what's happening in the back of the scenes because we are not in there, but it seems like these changes are basically coming together, and finally we are seeing the results of them. And I'm hoping that with these changes and with what we've seen in the Madagascar and Chad games, you're going to be seeing much more of this, and it's going to be interesting to see. Because look, I wasn't really upset. I wouldn't have been sad or disappointed if we lost the game, as long as I saw glimpses. The glimpses I saw during our Qatar World Cup, where sure we didn't really get the results, but I saw glimpses of a team or glimpses of Otoado's team that I thought we would be able to build upon until he left and then Chris Hughton came. And when we brought him back, sure, I was like, maybe we could have gotten a better coach, but I saw the vision behind Otuado. But again, when the results weren't going our way, I was one of the people who was like, no, 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 no. We should have gotten a better coach. We could have gotten someone better to make this team into the team we all believe it should be. Because mind you, we do not have a bad team, or we do not have a bad batch of players. Individually speaking, we have incredible players. Thomas Partey, Kudus, Salisu, all doing wonders for their club sides. So it's not that the players were bad. I felt that the problem was in the technical team, and the one in charge of the technical team being Otuado, not doing enough to get the best out of this batch of players. So for everything to finally click, it's making me think, as an Arsenal fan, back to Arteta, where he had he had a vision. He told the boardroom his vision, and that it's going to be a five phase plan, and we are going to have to go through hardship before we get to the promised land. And we went through those hardships, and fans were upset. Finishing eighth, we thought it wasn't good enough. Finishing eighth twice, by the way, we thought it wasn't good enough, but we were able to rise above it, get the chaff out of the club, and finally implement the vision of Arteta. And now Arsenal are title challengers. And hopefully the vision will finally be realized for Arsenal to become title winners as well. And it's sort of made me sit down and say, oh, probably this was what we also needed. We needed someone to come in, someone with a vision and a plan. His vision wasn't going to be implemented in a year or two. Maybe his vision would have been implemented in 3 or 4 years. And it was for us as fans to be patient with his vision, for him to have his vision and implemented, so that we can get to a point where we can be proud of our Black Stars, which is all well and good. But again, the GFA and Otuado himself didn't really give us that vision. So we had nothing to go on except trust us, we will do it. So again, I'm going to say that they failed on that part. They should have made us aware of what the vision and the plan was, so that we can basically be aware that, sure, we are going to go through hardship, but at the end of the day, we have an idea, we have a plan. And once that plan is realized, you will see the Black Stars that you want to see. And it seems like we are finally seeing the Black Stars play in a system that we can look at and say, oh, this team is doing so well. And I'm so proud of the team. So Black Stars, keep it up. Otuado, keep it up. And I'm looking forward to our next games in September, which is looking like it's going to be September. I don't know if we're going to have any other friendlies along those lines, but the next games are going to be in September, and against Chad and I believe Central African Republic. It's either Chad or the Central of Chad and Mali. In either way, I'm looking forward to those games. I'm hoping to see more from these Black Stars, and I'm hoping that we can build a team for the future who will become the strongest team on the African continent, because this Black Stars team is impressive batch of young players coming up, and I'm hoping that they reach their potential. And yeah, thank you for joining me, Otuado technical team. I'm so happy that you finally got things to click, and I'm hoping that this is not going to be a one-off, and we are going to be seeing much more of this. Thank you so much.